All right, I think we are live, sir. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Awesome. My name is Ferny Ceballos. This is your daily dose of live 15 minutes of daily motivation, inspiration, and education so you can get your day started right. Today's topic is actually for every entrepreneur dealing with overwhelm and feeling like they have too much going on and not enough time, not enough hours in the day to get it done. And that topic is on focus and time management being delivered by my good buddy Sebastian Assaf, who I will introduce in just a second. My name is Ferny Ceballos. I'm a lead generation expert, online marketing expert, specializing in helping home business owners, network marketers, affiliate marketers, direct sellers, and any online business multiply their incomes using the internet and internet marketing strategies. Now, here I got my buddy Sebastian. Sebastian, say hello. They can see you. They see you sitting there right there. What's up, buddy? So Sebastian is one of our EMP traffic coaches. So I'm just gonna hand it over to him right now, and he's gonna just take over and deliver some value for the next 15 minutes. And I'm gonna check to see if we're actually live and check your comments. So feel free to participate. So Sebastian, sir, you can take it away.
Cool. Thank you so much, Fernie. I am I'm blessed to be one of the Elite Marketing Pro traffic coaches. Skills that, I learned through your mentorship. You and the team, mentorship from you has allowed me to really just accelerate my learning and develop a cool knowledge set. Last couple of Daily Dose of Awesome calls that I did with you covered those types of concepts, Facebook, pay-per-click, advertising, and so forth. But this call, I'm going to cover some kind of like some different stuff because, if you know traffic, that's really cool. But there's a whole other set of challenges that can come up when you're, looking to create your business, looking to build your business and be an entrepreneur, really, and actually like work for yourself. And so one of those things, you mentioned it at the beginning, it's like if you're dealing with, if you've ever felt like overwhelmed or scattered, spread thin, just feeling like there's too much on your plate, or not knowing how to handle everything that's going on or tackle everything, then listen up, because I'm going to give you some stuff that can really help you with that, because I've faced that. It was one of the challenges that I started facing. I still face those challenges to this day, but I'm a little bit better equipped now to be able to handle those challenges. So when they come up, when I get in those states, I know that I can shift myself out and get myself back onto a productive frame of action, because I can come back to these concepts. So subject is focus and time management. I shouldn't say time management. I should say focus and energy, really, because one of the biggest myths, one of the biggest misconcepts that a lot of people have is this concept that you can manage your time, and the fact is that you can't. You have 24 hours in the day, and tomorrow you're going to have 24 hours in the day. If knock on wood, you're living through them. We each have 24 hours. The world is spinning, and we're all on it, and we're in different time zones, but we all have 24 hours. And so you can't really manage anything around that. You can only manage yourself within time. And so the first concept that I'm gonna talk to you about is the concept of energy, of managing your own energy within time, and some of the best ways to do that. So here's a concept. If you have felt overwhelmed, you probably felt really low with your energy levels, right? So how do you bring your energy levels up? Well, you drink coffee. Look, coffee can only do so much, right? You can only get so caffeinated, and even when you're really, really like hopped up on caffeine, you really only have it's a different type of energy than that high level, high performing energy. And so how do you get that energy, and how do you get it for the most amount of time possible, right? And so this is a concept that I learned from this book. It's called Powerful Engagement. If you haven't read it, this is a really cool read, really, really great read. It's a concept I mean, so written by Jim Lohr and Tony Schwartz, a concept taken from athletes that they applied to the workspace and saw enormous results of productivity just skyrocketing. And the concept is that they used to see the best athletes, the best tennis players, in between each one of their sets. They used to take the racket that they would play with, and they would put it in the other hand, right? And so what that would do is it would give the arm that they play with time to recuperate, rejuvenate before the next set when they bring it back into their active hand, as opposed to the players who did not do as well. They would just always be holding it in their hand, right? And so concept number one, you want to raise your energy, you want to raise your game, set yourself rejuvenation, okay? You're not a robot, you're a human being, right? And so your energy fluctuates, and I don't need to be a doctor to say that, right? I think you would agree. So the time that you're awake and alive is going to be equal to the time that you're rejuvenated, right? The deeper you can get rejuvenated, the more energy you can get when you're in action. So here's some basic things, but things that, you know what, maybe you've been neglecting them. So just keep an ear out, keep an eye out, check out if you have been neglecting some of these things. Number one, sleep. All right, sleep is there are studies and studies and studies and studies done on sleep. You do it for a third of your life. You spend a third of your life sleeping. Do you think it's important? I think it's extremely important. And so some things that I've learned about really quality sleep, on average, the average person I've seen needs about 8 hours of sleep. Some it's a little bit less, some it's a little bit more, right? But around 8 hours is what I've learned most people need. Now, it needs to be deep, regular, and uninterrupted, right? Deep, regular, and uninterrupted. So what do I mean by that? So deep, right? So you want to get into that deep, rejuvenating sleep. I think they call it REM sleep, right? So and regular, what I mean by regular is well, you don't just want it one night can make you feel great, but imagine you have 7 days or 6 days of that regular deep sleep, right? And uninterrupted. So you won't if you get into that deep sleep where you're rejuvenating, but it's interrupted and you wake up. Now, I understand some of you guys have kids, you know, some of you guys have newborns, and that can make it difficult. But whatever you can do to increase 8 hours of deep, regular, uninterrupted sleep will work magic for you. I'm sure of it. So some things to keep into consideration, things that hinder sleep: light, noise, temperature in the room, and I mean, along with that, something here. This. A lot of people, you know what? You're looking at this before going to sleep, and it's been proven to not help at all. They even have a new setting on it. It's the night setting, you know, so it doesn't affect your eyes the same way. But I just think, you know what? If you really want to sleep well, don't have this near you when you're going to bed, unless you absolutely are expecting an emergency, in which case you're probably not going to sleep that well anyway. So focus on your sleep. Number two, for energy, okay? And wow, I'm already almost at 10 minutes, but water, okay? Hydrate yourself. Most of us don't hydrate ourselves enough, and it composes most of our body, right? But we don't drink enough of it. I could get into this whole other concept of what type of water you drink, but I won't do that right now. But hydrate yourself, okay? So you can calculate your body weight. Just Google it, like calculate how much water you're supposed to drink per day. I know that I weigh about 200 pounds, so an average day, if I'm not minimum, like if I'm not drinking coffee, I'm not exercising, nothing like that, I need to drink about 3 to 4 liters of water in the day. All right, so calculate how much do you need to be drinking, and are you drinking that? Focus on making sure that your body stays hydrated. And lastly, for energy, exercise. Okay, exercise. It doesn't have to be rigorous. Just oxygenate your blood. Get your blood flowing. Right? Like when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling kind of groggy, your blood is not flowing. That's why it's good to get up and move. If you can do that, if you can take a a walk. Just get up, take a walk. Your body is going to be in a rhythm. Your blood's going to be flowing. You're going to be oxygenating your blood. If you get outside and breathe some fresh air, I'm telling you, just 15, 20, 30 minutes of that can set your day up for a really, really great day. Cool. So here's the next concept, and I got this from a few places. One was from this book called The Power of Habit by What We Do in Life and Business by Charles Duhigg. And personally, not as fun of a read, but really cool concept to understand the power of habit and really like where it is in our mind. And once a habit's established, it's in a part of our mind. There was a study done on this guy who had like half of his brain eaten by a disease, right? And he couldn't remember what he did that morning. Like it totally affected his memory. But if he was hungry, he would get up, walk to the kitchen, go right to the nuts, open the jar, grab some nuts, close the jar, put it back, and head back. And if he went outside, he could take a walk around the block and come back. He wouldn't remember where he lived if you asked him, but the habit part of his brain was unaffected, and so it doesn't take as much energy as it does to remember, right? So like if you need to remember, oh, I need to do this and this and this today, as opposed to having perhaps a routine that's a habitual routine that sets you up, you're going to realize that it's going to be done automatically. You're not even going to have to think about it. It's going to take less of your energy to do some of these things. So one of the most powerful things to have, I learned this from a program called Wake Up Productive by Evan Pagan through some of the coaches that I work with. I'm very, very blessed to have gone through that. One of the most powerful things you can have is a morning routine, right? So a morning routine could be simple, but it's something to set you up for the day, right? So if you got enough sleep, right, and you woke up and you drank some water, right, and then you went out and did a little bit of exercise and you did that continuously, then your energy level would be through the roof, right? So that's like the concept of energy, rejuvenation, habits, having yourself certain habits. Now you can also have yourself habits now for your work, right? Now when you have yourself habits for your work, here's where focus really comes into play, right? And focus, it can take some energy, but it can also become habitual, right? And so it's kind of, think of it like a muscle that you build. And when you're doing it, all right, so let's just say you set yourself a routine of a work routine, right? So most of us have pretty regular schedules. Some of us have some irregular schedules. But even if you have an irregular schedule, one that fluctuates, schedule time that you're going to invest to sit down and do your most important activity. Whatever will help move you forward. Calculate how much time you can invest to that regularly, right? So if it's 4 days a week, if it's 5 days a week, then do it. And if it's only an hour or 2 hours a day, then just schedule that, right? And that's going to be your golden hour or your golden hours, okay? And think of it really like that. And keep the other concepts in mind as well. If you can schedule at a time where your energy is highest, excellent. If you can schedule it regularly, excellent. If you can schedule rejuvenation around that, because it can take your energy, right? Let's just say you have 2 hours. Well, schedule 2 hours of work, and then right after, schedule something that's going to allow you to just take your time back and relax, or do something that's really going to rejuvenate you, either for 30 minutes, an hour. I don't know an exact number of this. I've heard different things, but I think it really depends on what's best for you or where you're at right now. But think about it. Like, invest a couple hours and then 30 minutes to an hour of rejuvenation. So as you're getting to the end of that 2 hours, then you know that, okay, after this, I don't have to focus on something else. I'm just going to relax, maybe read a book, maybe take a little nap, maybe watch some Netflix, whatever makes you feel better, okay? So habits, rejuvenation, and I'm going to end it with this, all right? There is an enemy of focus. There is an enemy of focus. And if you think about it, it's super obvious, but it's elusive. It's distraction, right? So when you want to focus on eliminating distraction in your environment, All right. The number one distraction, I'm going to bring it again, your cell phone. I mean, man, this thing is just like notification for every single application that I have on this phone. I literally, I could spend my entire day just like noticing all the notifications that come on this phone, right? So, um, cell phones, if you're going to be doing some powerful work, put them away. Like put them away and just like come back to them later. Again, the notification that someone liked your Facebook photo can wait. And um, other distractions as well, people, right? Sometimes people can be big distractions. Pets. Get yourself in an environment. Create an environment that you can focus in. If you can't think of creating it, find one. Maybe it's a coffee shop. Maybe you need to go out and get yourself in a coffee shop. And even though there's stuff going around, maybe that's your zone, right? So get yourself in a zone where distractions are minimalized and you can focus and make sure you have habits in place and your energy is back up. Focus on putting those things in place and your productivity will go up. I'm sure of it. So I hope that these concepts, reminders, and maybe if you learn something new here too, that would be awesome. But I hope that brings you back into a mindset of what you can do to support yourself to get the best results for yourself. With that, Ferny, I'm out. Dropping the mic.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that. I wanted to add a couple of points based on what you just said about distractions. A feature I recently discovered on my computer is you can actually turn off notifications for a set period of time every day. And so you can actually shut off all Facebook notifications, every notification, so that you can pretty much focus. I'm sure you can do the same thing on your phone. So that's a very interesting point. You could actually you don't even have to turn off your phone if you're insecure about doing that. You can actually just turn off the notifications at a set time block every single day so that you don't receive them. You might even, eventually what happens is you forget that you actually did that. So you're not worried that, oh, I'm not receiving notifications at that time because you don't even know that they're off because you kind of just forgot it.
So is that an application or is that just like a setting?
That's a setting inside of the computer and should be on your phone as well. You can turn off notifications. Yeah. The other thing is totally get about getting an environment where you can get in your zone. I used to actually go to a bar to get focused.
Really?
Yeah, I'd go to because I was like, it was just at home I couldn't concentrate. And funny enough, I actually concentrate better in environments that are noisy with a lot of people that I don't know. So they're not gonna bother me because I don't know them and it's noisy, things are happening, whatever. It brings my energy up for some reason. And then so I'd be the only guy at the bar with a laptop going writing copy, like writing sales letters. I did some of my best work at a bar on a laptop while everybody else is kind of just hanging out, partying, whatever. So there you go.
And if you're at a bar, they're playing good tunes too, right?
That too. But it's interesting. So whatever it is, and yes, I would sip on tequila while writing copy that just like lubricated the creative juices. So
hey, I think it was I forget which author, but there's an author, a very famous author that wrote "Write Drunk, Edit Sober." So I don't know, but I think it was a very, very well known author. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now, but I'm not condoning that. But I mean, if it works for you, it works for me sometimes too. If I have a glass of wine or crack a beer while I write copy, it helps lubricate the creative juices. Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome, man. Well, it also helps me feel like I'm doing something fun. Like it tricks my mind into believing I'm having fun when I have a beer or something. When I'm actually just working. So there you go. So well, thanks a lot, buddy. Appreciate it. That is the end of our Daily Dose of Awesome. Thank you, Shirley, Julian, Chris. Let me see. Chris, Julian, Shirley, Jeannie, everybody that came on. Thanks so much, Andy. Thanks a lot, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care, everybody.